All right. Good morning. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I wanted to just start off this morning for just a couple minutes to help you understand, at least from my experience, um, what meditation is and what it's not. After 8 years of daily meditation, I feel like I've done a pretty thorough experiment. And what I thought meditation was, I thought it was just, being able to sit down, relax, make all my thoughts go away. And somehow that was going to transform my life and everything would be awesome. Well, what actually happened is I would sit down and I would get extremely annoyed with the process, and I would wonder why anyone in their right mind would ever try to do this. Like, for real. Like, what's the point? Um, Fortunately, I came across some information that was very helpful to me. I started to learn some meditation techniques that helped give me some direction, and honestly, I share the best ones with you guys. So meditation techniques don't have to be complicated. Um, I think it's really important to understand what's motivating us. So a lot of times, what motivates us in the beginning is we just have had enough. We're at the end of our rope, and we just need things to change. So what I've found is that meditation is really improving our ability to hold our concentration, to focus our attention, and it's through that level of concentration that the side effects happen. And the side effects are peacefulness, the ability to stay calm, the bandwidth to handle everything that life can throw at you. And these are the side effects. And so I would encourage you not to make the side effects the focal point of your practice. The focal point of the practice is just giving your full attention to each of the techniques. Completely absorb your mind into the process, because the mind can't do two things at once. It can't fully be absorbed into experiencing a technique and wondering what your cat is doing or how your rent's going to get paid. The mind doesn't work like that. So what we do, and you'll find when your attention wanders in your meditation, you're thinking about your cat and you're not thinking about the technique. So what I want you to do is to just give everything you have to holding your attention. I'll guide you. We'll go to different parts of the body and to begin. And when we do this, I want you to just really try to focus on going and feeling the gross physical aspect, like the kind you can touch and feel. And then I'll lead you into a more subtle experience. And then we'll try to go even to a more subtle experience. And as you engage the mind in this process, the nervous system settles, the breath rate slows down, the heart rate slows down, the body enters the parasympathetic nervous system, and then we're able to sit quietly as an observer of the experience. Okay? So we're using the mind, we're employing the mind, giving it our full attention. If the attention slips, just notice and refocus it. And the more you can do this and the better you can get at holding your attention, everything in your life will change. This I can guarantee. Your ability to handle bad news, irritating situations, concentrating and focusing on your work, these things will improve by learning and retraining the mind to focus. Cool? We have a deal? All right, so let's get started. The first thing we want to do is find a comfortable meditation posture. It's really important to have the spine straight. So it's best if you can sit up. If you're in a chair, I don't like leaning back. I like to just sit forward just a bit so that the spine is nice and straight. Your head and neck are relaxed. We want our chin parallel to the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, just a comfortable height, so you're not putting stress on other parts of the body. So we want to be as comfortable as we can get so that we can relax, because relaxing is part of the process. We also want to be stable. We don't want to tip over. And I don't recommend lying down, especially when you're new, because you will find yourself snoring quickly. We basically want the body to rest while our awareness stays completely present. I found it helpful in the beginning to sit with my palms up on the tops of my legs. This was creating a brace and the support for the back. And when the palms are up, it naturally pushes your shoulders back a bit and opens up the area around the lungs and the heart. So it's a comfortable position. It'll keep you stable. Then what we would like to do is we want to gently turn the eyes upward toward the center part of the forehead. I often refer to this as the spiritual eye center. It's also the sixth chakra, the Ajna chakra. So what we'll do is we'll just gently turn our eyes up as if we're gazing out through the center of the forehead. So when the eyes are gently turned up, this will keep us awake in our meditation, because when we sleep, the eyes roll down. So we're consciously holding them up. It takes a little practice, but it becomes very comfortable. Also, what we're doing with the eyes in this position is we're creating a focal point for our concentration. We're also creating new neural pathways in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. So this is very good for our sensory regulation, our ability to concentrate, focus, and whatnot. So let's just take a moment to just feel and notice the entirety of the body. So just placing our attention, feeling the area of the body, perceiving. And just notice how the body is doing. We're just taking a survey, I suppose. Just noticing, do we feel calm? Do we feel nervous? Just what's going on for you right now? And then turning our attention outside the body and noticing any sounds that are in our environment and just acknowledging them, not trying to change them in any way, just an acknowledgement and acceptance. And allow these sounds to just be part of the experience this morning. Invite them to be with you. And turning our attention back to the body. Noticing and feeling the weight and the heaviness of the body. Feeling the surface that we're sitting on. Just noticing the pressure, the effect of gravity. And as we're feeling and noticing the body, just consider the body's ability and capacity to perceive through the senses. And what we're doing in our meditation is we're redirecting the attention that's usually flowing out of us onto the world, onto matter, and we're redirecting this focus and this energy. We're bringing it back to the body, to our inner world. So it's also helpful to just give yourself permission to just let everything that's going on for you right now, what's happened in your day, what's going to happen, to just leave it outside for now, knowing that we'll come back to it soon. But just giving ourselves this time to just completely focus on us. Directing our attention down to our feet, feeling our feet on the floor or on the surface that we're sitting on. Notice the pressure, the temperature, sensation. Just try to notice what's happening in the area of the feet. And drawing our attention to a more subtle experience. So see if you can feel the nerves in your feet. Maybe there's a tingling sensation. Just see if you can perceive a subtle experience in the bottom of the feet. Directing our attention deeper into the feet, see if you can feel the blood flowing around the area of the feet. Perceiving energy with curiosity, just see if you can explore what's there. Bringing our attention up to our hands. So feeling the hands, noticing the temperature, maybe notice the weight. And sinking our awareness deeper into the hands, feeling temperature, pressure, feeling the temperature inside the hands, noticing the difference between the temperature on the skin outside the hands. Drawing our attention in deeper, feeling the subtle vibration of the nervous system in the palms of the hands. Feeling the subtle wave-like sensations of the energy that's present in the areas of the palms. Moving our attention up to the top of the head, just feeling the scalp, noticing the temperature, sinking our awareness deeper, feeling the blood flow through the capillaries of the scalp. Feeling the follicles of the hair, really sinking our attention deep. Feeling the tingly sensation of the nerves. Bringing our awareness back to the entirety of the body. Feeling the coolness of the air on the skin surrounding the body, the areas that are exposed. And see if you can feel the subtle movement of the air around the body. Noticing the difference of the temperature inside the body, and feeling the temperature on the skin outside the body. Just noticing this physical barrier. How the skin keeps the inside in and the outside out. Directing our attention inside the body. Feeling the weight of the tissue and the muscles, the density, the form. Noticing the liquid inside the body, the water element, the blood, the lubrication of the eyes, the joints, the wetness in the mouth. Pulling our attention deeper into the body, perceiving the bones, the earth element, stability, the structure and the form that the bones provide for the physical body. As the bones hold us upright. Feeling the structure, the strength of the skeletal system. Noticing the internal temperature of the body as it relates to the element of fire. Feeling the heat of digestion. Feeling the electrical activity of the nervous system. the heat generated inside the body through metabolism. And feeling the movement of air inside the body, the air element, as we feel the breath flowing in and out of the body. Feeling the diaphragm drawing air into the lungs. Feeling the rising of the diaphragm as it constricts the lungs to exhale the air. Bringing our attention fully to the breath. Inhaling through the nose if possible. Just notice the coolness of the air as we take a long, slow, steady inhalation. Feeling that cool air flow up into the sinuses and down into the lungs. Watching the breath with curiosity as we feel the air exhaling, the warmth of the air as it flows down the sinuses, leaving the body through the nostrils. And at the end of our exhale, just allow the body to relax. Just feel it let go. And inhaling the next breath, just observing the process, noticing what's there. Exhale, relax the body. So we're taking long, slow, steady inhalations, saturating the mind, absorbing the mind in the process. Watching the breath on the exhale. Feeling the body relax. So we'll take the next few minutes and just give your full attention to just watching and experiencing the breath, and try to notice something you've never noticed before. Remembering to keep our focal point at the spiritual eye. And if we lose our concentration, just bring it back, just notice, and just recommit. As you inhale the breath, you can feel that vitality, that freshness, that newness as it flows into the body. And on the exhaling breath, you can imagine the restlessness, the anxiety, the the tension, anything that's in the body. Allow the breath to just carry it away. So we're bringing in the new, we're exhaling the old. We're just watching the process. So let's do 2 more cycles of the breath. And then I want you to just let go of the breath and check in and notice. What's the impact been of just observing the body in the process of the breath? Drawing our attention deeper into the body, placing our attention at the base of the spine, down by the tailbone, and imagining that the spine is like a hollow tube or a straw. We're going to place our full awareness into the spine, and we'll slowly and gently inhale the breath up through the spinal pathway. And we'll just gently pull the breath up the spine, up past the stomach and the digestive system, up behind the lungs and the heart, up through the neck and through the head. And we can pull the breath either up to the very crown of the head, or we can imagine that that tube extends through the brain to the spiritual eye center in the forehead. Just let the breath go where it wants to go. And on the exhaling breath, we're just watching, feeling, and noticing as the breath trickles back down the spine. Observing it all the way down to the base. Then long, slow, steady inhalation as we feel the coolness of the breath as it gently flows up the spine to the crown or the spiritual eye. And then on the exhale, we just see if we can perceive the subtle warmth of the breath as it just trickles and flows back down the spine. This creates a very soothing sensation. So we'll take the next few minutes and we'll just inhale slowly, gently, and deeply up the spine. And at the top, just let the breath flow back down the spine, following it with our attention. And at the end of the exhale, allowing the body to settle, and then repeating the process. As we inhale up the spine, feeling the straightness of the spine, the head and the neck, giving our full attention, absorbing the mind in the process. Let's do 2 more rounds of breathing in the spine. And on the second round, we're going to pull our breath up to the crown or the spiritual eye, and we're going to hold our attention there as we release the breath to flow in and out naturally. And as we hold our attention in the higher brain centers, we're just observing as the witness, as the presence that's observing what's seeable. Placing our full attention at the crown of the head or the spiritual eye. Just leaning into the experience of feeling the stillness as an experience. And with curiosity, without expectation, we're just sitting to notice. Being aware of being aware, and try to see from the position of what's behind the eyes, what part of you is able to be aware, hearing behind the ears, as we let go of everything we think we know about who we are, about the experience that we're having, and just let go and just surrender into the comfort, the discomfort, just whatever's there. Just give yourself to the experience fully. If the mind loses its focus, just recommit and see if you can lean in even more, let go even more. See if you can push through that barrier. Just letting go, completely present. And see if you can relax into this position of neutrality, beyond all the identities, beyond all the roles we play. Just seeing what's always there behind everything you think you know and think you are. See if this can be discovered or experienced. Digging as deep as you can, giving yourself permission to let go absolutely. See if you can just lean in and trust that letting go is safe. With curiosity, wondering what's on the other side. Of this experience. And imagine for a moment, what could your experience of life be if you could approach it from this higher perspective? From a knowing of who and what you actually are. Being able to see all the roles, all of the situations as just fluctuations within the field of consciousness. What would it be like to recognize that every moment that comes to you is an opportunity to let go, to be fully engaged and present, knowing that each moment's providing you opportunity to grow and to become more skillful. It's providing us opportunity to let go of all the roles and identities and all the aspects of ourselves that are temporary. And instead of resisting them, what if we're able to just say yes, knowing that every thing that's ever happened to us that we thought was bad ended up being good, ended up being a catalyst for growth and change? And what if this little shift in our perspective, what implications would it have for ourselves, for those around us, for those that are depending on us to lead fearlessly, to provide stability, how we might be able to become anchors and pillars of strength in a time where people could really use some stability. And what would that ripple effect look like? So allowing our attention to flow back to the body. So just feeling our awareness flowing down through the head and neck. Our awareness flowing down through the upper body, down into the arms and the hands and the fingers. Feeling your attention flowing back through the abdomen into the legs, down into the feet and into the toes. And feeling our feet on the floor. Feeling, noticing. Bringing our awareness back to the hands. Feeling that sensation coming back to life in the hands and the feet. Bringing our attention back to the sounds outside the body, reminding us of where we are. Bringing our attention fully back to the body. And as we get up to go about our day, do your best to take this experience with you. Remember how you feel right now, the depth of your peace, the measure of your calm. and see if you can share it with others. Being fully present to our lives and the opportunities that we have. All right. When you're ready, we can open our eyes. I know, no one ever wants to open their eyes. No one ever wants to sit down to meditate, and then once they do, they don't want to come back. But welcome back. Thank you for being here. We have a few minutes. Does anyone have a question about anything that we did today? Because I would like you to practice. No? Y'all are masters now? Go ahead, Jenny.
Can you give more of a description about the tube in the spine? The sensation of that, is it tiny? Is it bigger? Does it move? Is it? I have a little trouble with that.
With feeling it?
Well, probably because I've had a lot of spine surgery, but I don't know. I just imagining that is hard for me for some reason.
That's an interesting question. I don't know. It just feels like the appropriate size that the breath will flow up through gently and easily. And I like to just, when I feel, and I'm really focused on feeling the breath as it flows up and as it trickles down, it creates a very soothing sensation. And it's that soothing sensation that's really activating the parasympathetic system. And that, what happens in that process is I start to lose awareness of the body, and my attention becomes very concentrated and internalized. And when I feel that I've really drawn my attention in and I don't notice the body and I don't notice the sounds, then I know that it's probably a good time to just hold my attention. I usually hold it here at the Spiritual Eye, because until we get to that place in our physiology, when it gets to that place, then concentration here becomes possible. And then I'm not really losing my focus and my attention anymore, and I'm able to stay present to the experience. Yeah, but I would recommend journaling about that. Other teachers I know will say that having body work done, massage and whatnot, can help with that sensitivity. And sometimes it's the body's protecting us, right? That's the same thing like when I sit in that space, that quiet space, for quite some time it was very uncomfortable. Because we're conditioned to be very noisy. And when we really feel and perceive that silence, it's a scary place at first. And that's why I'm guiding you to just let go of everything you think you know. Right? It's safe. I mean, what can happen? It's our own consciousness. So I just like to lean into it. And I found that helps me trust a higher power. So these little things we're doing incrementally are increasing our faith and our trust also. All right, any other questions? No? Diamonanda, go ahead.
Yeah, I was reading this morning about Yogananda and about meditation. And he was saying concentration, as you say, is so important. And he was saying concentrate on God. Now, what we're concentrating on here is, what you brought us through is like through the body and all that. And then I was thinking, and then as time went on, he brought everything up to the third eye and everything. I was noticing that there were no thoughts at all. It seemed like nothing.
Nice.
Now, I'm confused though. Was I supposed to think about God?
I would stay present to the nothing, because, and we can talk about this another time. God is the idea of God's just another mental construct, right? So if we want to experience God, I think the best thing to do is to just be fully present to the experience and see what happens. Because we can spend a lot of time trying to figure out God, and at the end of the day, we're still going to be confused.
Interesting.
So it feels to me more like a perception, in a being and a knowing. And I think once we have that experience, we won't have the words to describe it. So you'll get to keep it in your heart, which is wonderful. And we become, I don't know, your light will start to shine, and others will benefit from that. It's quite wonderful. All right, my friends. Okay, one more.
Hello. When I'm focusing at the center eye, am I physically focusing my eyes there, where there feels like there's a pressure there, or am I focusing my consciousness there?
Both.
Because I feel there's a moment where I'm focusing my eyes and there's like a pressure there.
Yeah. That's only because you need to practice more. Holding our eyes up in yoga, it's the Shambhavi Mudra. Holding our eyes gently turned up here just takes some practice. The muscles around the eyes will get stronger. I don't know. It doesn't take long. A month or two of using that technique. Like, I don't notice it at all anymore. And so my eyes are in this position and I'm holding my concentration there, and I'm just having an experience somewhat to what Daimananda shared, where it's just this vast expanse, and I'm just present to whatever is occurring. I'm not trying to have an expectation that something is supposed to happen. Sometimes amazing things do happen. It's just, you just never know what you're going to get. But yeah, so the pressure, that's just because it's a new thing, I think.
Okay, so kind of just push through that.
Gently. Yeah, just gently. Yeah, like I said, now I don't notice. My eyes just stay there, and it's not a thing. Okay, cool. So there's also a YouTube channel that has many videos on similar meditations. You can find them Kriya Yoga Encinitas on YouTube. You can just find there. There's also probably a link to the playlist floating around on Facebook and WhatsApp and who knows. But Kriya, Kriya, Kriya Yoga Encinitas, you'll find it. Okay, have a great day. Have a great rest of the week, and I hope to see you next week. Be well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Take care, folks.